CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Premier Christie Clark says she had nothing to do with the Vancouver Island Health Authority hiring the husband of one of her top advisors. VHA, as we first told you last night, hired and then fired Stuart Muir, who was married to one of the Premier's deputy ministers, for a $161,000 a year communications job without putting that contract out to public tender first, as its rules say it must. Earlier this year, Muir was handed another lucrative government contract, ghostwriting the report into the Stanley Cup riots. Critics say it all smacks of cronyism, another insider getting a fat government contract.
Well, I guess it would be if I'd had anything to do with it, but I didn't. VHA made the decision. They needed to follow guidelines. They say that they didn't follow guidelines. They've corrected it. I had no involvement with any of it on either end. So
there is also some question that the hiring and firing may jeopardize the future of VHA's CEO, Howard Waldner. The health minister says he's still gathering information about the hiring. Waldner told us here last night he takes full accountability. Questions for the Premier as well about other contracts, including one to former CTV News anchor Pamela Martin. A number of groups across the country rallied today in support of raw milk. In Victoria, a food freedom rally was held on the lawn of the legislature, all part of a raw milk revolution. And this is how it played out. Cows and goats and people marked the 5-year anniversary since a raw milk farm in Ontario was raided. The farmer recently went on a 37-day hunger strike to raise awareness for the issue of raw milk. Advocates are calling on the government to allow limited distribution of safe, unpasteurized dairy products. A raw milk proponent says it's a healthy alternative for breastfeeding.
My little guy, I didn't have hardly any milk for him, and the commercial products had done a lot of bad things for my children. They had commercial formula had given my kids eczema very badly, bad reactions to eczema and bad reactions allergically. Put Daniel on this milk, he flourished. His eczema went away.
We have a real concern about the line of government that says that the raw milk is a very hazardous product. If you look at the data from the Centre for Disease Control in British Columbia, there's only a single report of a so-called foodborne illness from raw milk.
Canada is the only G8 nation that bans the sale and distribution of unpasteurized milk products. Workers at Viking Air in North Saanich are voting in favor of strike action and voting overwhelmingly. Members of the Canadian Auto Workers Union voted 94% in favor of strike action. The union says the key issues are wages and cost of living increases, benefits, and job security as the company ramps up to deal with a backlog of more than 50 orders for the new Twin Otter aircraft. The current contract expired October 31st of last year. Talks are scheduled to continue through this weekend. Well, some high-tech executives are braving the cold and taking the plunge to help a Victoria charity.
1, 2, 3.
That looks cold. Employees from Contech Incorporated lined up on Fisherman's Wharf today and jumped into the harbour for a good cause. It's the 4th annual Harbour Hop, raising money for the Victoria Advanced Technology Council Food Bank Challenge. There are more than 30 tech companies involved this year, including the first ever female participants.
I can't even talk, I'm so cold. It was breathtaking.
Is it an eye-opener, good thing for first thing in the day for you to do, or what?
Oh yeah. If I wasn't awake before, I sure am now.
And it's worth it for the cause, eh?
Well worth it for the cause, well worth it. If I can stand a couple of seconds of cold to feed some hungry mouths, I'm happy.
It was the first time females participated. We had Contech's engineering manager, Marianne Hooper, who jumped, as well as 4 people from UVic, who were the ladies in the lovely tutus.
Since this challenge began, more than $1 million in food and cash has been donated to the Mustard Seed Food Bank from Vancouver Island technology companies. Well, your garbage day, if you live in Victoria, is about to get a lot greener. The city will soon change the way your trash is collected, all in an effort to reduce waste going to the landfill. The eco-friendly initiative will pick up kitchen scraps, and that'll include any food product or soiled paper or meat or poultry from your curbside. The goal is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to cut back the amount of waste we send to the landfill. The program has 3 collection models for you to consider. Option A, at a cost of $229 per year per household, includes backyard bin pickup, alternating weeks of garbage and kitchen scraps, and curbside drop-off. Option B, at $183 a year, Gives you backyard bin pickup, garbage and kitchen scraps collected every 2 weeks, and the bin brought back to the curb. And here's option C. It's $161 a year per household. It features curbside pickup, kitchen and garbage scraps collected every 2 weeks, and the bin taken back to the curb.
The cost of the program is determined by the model we choose, and that's why the consultation program is quite unique. And because it's a fully user-pay system, we're asking the users to determine which model they would prefer. The 3 models have 3 different costs, and 2 are lower than what the current cost is of $202 a year, and then 1 is a bit higher.
Over the next year, the city is also going to be purchasing new trucks and a mechanically lifted bin system that will change the way garbage is collected in the city of Victoria. It'll soon mail you a survey if you're in the city to ask which option you prefer for your garbage pickup. The union, which represents city workers, says it prefers
option A, and just in the comments section on the mail-out survey that all citizens or all users are going to receive is to put in the comments section that they want the toter returned to the backyard where it was originally located.
By 2013, the kitchen scrap and garbage program is expected to reduce the amount of material going to the landfill in Victoria by 30%. A salmon shark washed ashore in Port Hardy today, and the Department of Fisheries is investigating the possibility that it was shot. The shark first washed up this morning. A man discovered it and took a photo, then reported it to DFO. When he came back, though, the shark was gone. It had been swept out to sea by the tide. Well, sure enough, by late this afternoon, the tide brought the shark back to shore again, and the DFO was able to retrieve it. The fisheries officer assigned to the case says there's a small hole in the shark's torso that could be a bullet hole. It may also be a hole caused by a number of other things, including birds pecking at the body. A necropsy will be scheduled at the Pacific Biological Research Center in Nanaimo. Well, hundreds of thousands of twinkling lights will turn downtown Ladysmith into a winter wonderland with a flick of the switch tomorrow night, and Santa will be there to do that at the 24th Annual Festival of Lights. Thousands of volunteer hours go into the annual event, with the Festival of Lights Planning Committee working for months in advance of the light up.
It's ever evolving, and the main focus comes starting in, say, mid-September, such when we put decorations up on the rooftops, but lay them down, and then after Halloween we start setting them up and getting ready for the big day. Parade comes down about 6:45, and we make sure the timers are set for 6:30, so when Santa flips the switch, then the rooftop decorations come on.
Tomorrow night is the main event with the light up, but the lights stay twinkling until well after Christmas, and large numbers of visitors from up and down the island come to Ladysmith through the month of December.
In the last few years, we've had approximately 20,000 people in our little community of 8,300, so it's pretty phenomenal. It really is. The main focus, though, is it's a family time, and that's what makes it special for everyone, and that's indeed, I think, the driving force for why they come down.
The celebration in Ladysmith begins tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock with a community spaghetti dinner at the Eagles Hall. Entertainment beginning at 4. The Kinsman Parade starts at 6:45 tomorrow night.